Hello and welcome everyone. Today's hunt will put my skills to the test, bringing me to each corner of the map. Join me on the hunt for a little bit of everything. I'm getting down to the final few story missions for Paul Beatty. He and his dad have challenged me to a hunt, hitting each region of the map and going after the big five in the process. They can be done at any time and in any order that is convenient. To do so, I'll need to get a moose in Highton Peaks, an elk in the northern ridge, a coyote in the southern ridge, a bear in Layton Lakes, and a blacktail in the Lake District. This task can seem a little overwhelming at first, but it's actually not too bad. I'll be talking about each one as I go, but overall, if you hunt into the wind, go slow enough to keep your noise and visibility down, and utilize cover when necessary, you'll have a decent chance for success. All the animals are susceptible to calling, so make sure to bring those along, as well as an appropriate gun and ammo. When this one showed up in my mission log, I still had a handful of others to do. Instead of actively pursuing each objective one by one, I completed this passively, while picking away at other missions. In doing so, this video became a little bit of a montage, but provides a variety of ways to get the job done. Highton Peaks is a great spot for moose. Naturally, hunting along the river in the afternoon is probably the easiest way to find some, and if you're choosy in doing so, you'll likely get a big one. Bring along a large Class 8 gun and a moose collar, and you're good to go. I got mine very differently, however. While working on Beatty 8, I had to harvest a moose from a ground blind at night near the southern end of the region. I found a rest zone with a single female a short distance from the stand. After setting the time, I headed out to the blind to see if I might catch her on the way in. Things were pretty quiet at the blind, as I thought they would be. I gave her a little bit of time to get to her zone, but didn't see her come in. With no visuals to go by, I hopped out to take a closer look. The moose's collar range is 200 meters, and her zone is about 240 away. My plan was to cut the distance in half, call her toward me, and then coax her back to the blind. I couldn't see her anywhere around the zone, but hoped that she was hiding in the brush. The wind was fairly poor, so I put on some scent eliminator and then began to call her in. And with one call, I got results. Perfect. I slowly crouch-walked my way back toward the blind. And there she is. I moved low and slow and used her poor eyesight to my advantage. I occasionally called to keep her coming my way as I anxiously crawled my way back through the grass. Almost there. And I'm in. I tried to line up a shot, but she lost interest and started to move away. I switched back and used the collar once again. And she took the bait. Alright, let's go chase her down. I found her just out of sight in the brush. No score for her, but that's okay. It was enough of a struggle to coax in a level 1. I got her on the right lung and in line with the heart at 96 meters. With the harvest made from a ground blind at night, she will complete the mission for me. The northern ridge is an easy spot to find elk. Most of the eastern branch of the main river flows through it, as well as the top half of the eastern shore. The mines and the lookout tower to the south are also good spots to check too. Roosevelt elk are Class 7, so I brought along the single-shot 7mm and kept the collar handy. This one was a little bit of a gimme, but checking around lookout towers is another good strategy for finding animals. In Connor's end of season, Emily wanted me to take a look around the Norden Tower at night.
This is it. Layton Canyon. Time to find that elk.
Once I got there, I began glassing around the area to the east. And there he is, a level 5 with diamond potential, standing at just over 150 meters. A great distance for the 7mm. I had a good wind too, so I took my time. I got into a little better position and tried my luck. It looked like a good shot, and he lost some health, but he wasn't going down quickly, so I got a little nervous. A quick check to my map didn't show hunting pressure either. I anxiously climbed down the tower to check for vital blood. On the way, I checked my hunter mate, and I had hunting pressure, so he was down. Then I came upon vital blood, so I knew he was good to go. And there he is. And he is an orange-colored diamond at 382.87. I love the look of those antlers and couldn't have asked for more. My shot landed just above the heart, hitting him in the left lung instead. He's a great bookend to the Connor story missions and another great addition to the lodge.
What a harvest. Gotta be 1 in a million. You should send Emily a picture.
Southern Ridge isn't my favorite place to find coyotes, but it can be done. I suggest checking around Chila Lake and along the lower half of the eastern shore, especially after midnight. They're a smaller animal, so a Class 2 weapon like the Ranger 243 will do the trick. Collars are also very effective on them as well. I completed this objective while hunting for the were-coyote in Chila. This one was kind of a gimme too, as he only spawns when you enter the area, and he's a big one.
Yeah, this is Chila. Keep your eyes peeled for that coyote. It's supposed to be somewhere around these parts.
I wanted to start by looking around the hunting stand, so I marked it on the map and crept my way in. Luckily, the wind was blowing to the south, masking my approach. As long as I kept my visibility and noise down, I might have a chance at surprising it. I scanned the field, but no luck. Next, I began checking for coyote tracks. After a few duds, I found my first clue. They were old, but he's been here. After combing the nearby woods, I picked up his trail and followed it down the hill. Droppings were my only indicator of distance. When they became very old, I stood up and started walking, but I did so just a moment too soon. He must have stopped for a moment in the brush just ahead of me. Determined not to repeat the same mistake, I diligently followed him through the dense underbrush for quite some time. I crouched as I went, hoping to catch a glimpse of him if he stopped again. His luck ran out when I spotted him along the edge of a field.
There it is. Another big one to take down.
The were-coyote is a level 9 with diamond potential. He was nervous but stationary, and now I had eyes on him. Unfortunately, he was facing the other direction, so I slowly circled to the left for a better angle. I found my angle at about 70 meters. He was quartered away with a clear shot to his vitals. Nailed him. Alright, let's go take a look. A quick check of the map showed how far I had to go to get him. The Were Coyote turned out to be a diamond, scoring 57.49. This big fella is a dark gray weighing 25 kilograms. My single shot landed perfectly, hitting both lungs, the heart, and the right leg. I'll have a place for him in my lodge next to Mr. Black and the end-of-season diamond elk. With my harvest accepted, I completed the last story mission for Fiona Voilez. I completed the next objective by accident, as I don't often hunt for bears in Layton Lakes. The big attraction here is the lower part of the main river and the western half of the southern shore. The mission I was working on, though, was dock number 9, where I had to get a bear in Mount Kraken at night with a bow. I already found a feed zone near a hunting stand, so I decided to check there first. I kept the wind to my right as I made my approach. As I got closer, I began to crouch to keep my visibility low. On the way to the center of the zone, I heard something moving in the bushes to the left. I could see part of a carcass, indicating the bear was nearby, so I scanned the trees. I didn't have much luck at first, so I circled to the right and headed to cover at a different angle. And there she is. She's only a level 3, but not bad for a female, so she'll do just fine. I ended up alerting her, so I had to proceed very carefully from here on in. She repositioned out of sight, but didn't flee. I closed the distance, looking for a better angle. I spotted her again, but had some trees in the way, so I tried moving further to the right. This was better, but had a bad angle. As I was figuring out my next move, she sat down. This is great for shooting, but her vitals were obscured by the ground. I'll have to get in close to get a clear shot. This will work, nice and close. I got her with 2 shots and she fell at my feet. Let's see what I got. She's a dusky silver female at 15.58. Not bad for a female. Both shots got her in the vitals, the first taking her through the shoulder and left lung. The second shot plowed through her shoulder and both lungs, just barely missing the heart. With a harvest made at night in Mount Kraken with a bow, the mission was now complete. Each area so far has been entirely in the animal's home range, but blacktails only occupy the eastern half of the Lake District. In this region, I suggest checking around Belmont Lake, South Lake, and High Lake a few hours before sunset. The collar and the in-game 7mm are a great combo to bring along. I completed this during a free roam hunt around North Lake. After finishing the rather easy Connors putting out the fire mission, I wanted to test out the 4570 Jernberg pistol. After loading up, I headed out for a quick hike around the lake. I scared away the first zone I came to. I kept hiking around the lake and found another herd on the other side. It was quite large and had a few bucks in it too. I found the biggest one in the bunch and began to sneak into range. This fella's a silver, scoring 128.92. Even though he's a silver, I like the look of his rack. The Jernberg got through both lungs at 120 meters with a nice broadside shot. Turns out I completed an objective for Beatty Circle Route in doing so. That's always a pleasant surprise. Each hunt had a different twist, but I got the job done, all while completing other missions. It's a fun way to take a tour of the map and target a variety of species. If this video was helpful or you learned something along the way, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll be adding more of these guides as I go along with my progression, so be sure to check in for more Call of the Wild content. Thanks for watching!